Today, it's popular to treat Christianity like delicate old china, something kept behind glass, constantly brought out to stand trial before modern critics. The prosecutors step up and make their case. They argue the faith is too dark. They call it a death cult that crushes human freedom and drains all the color and joy out of life. But then the next witness takes the stand and claims the exact opposite. They argue the faith is too bright. They call it a pink and white nursery, a cowardly fairy tale meant to shield people from the harsh realities of the real world. One agnostic demands to know why nature isn't beautiful enough on its own and blames faith for ruining it. Another steps right past him to argue that nature is actually cruel and ugly and blames Christian optimism for hiding that fact. Eventually, you have to look at the critics and wonder what exactly they are talking about. A worldview cannot simultaneously be a waking nightmare and a fool's paradise. The accusations are attacking each other. G.K. Chesterton approached the accusations not as a defender, but as an investigator, testing the faith's durability under pressure. He reasoned that if Christianity truly was the enemy of life, if it existed only to manufacture despair and make men smaller and colder, then he would not spend a single second defending it. He would tear it down. He wrote that if the faith was purely opposed to life, he was quite prepared to blow up St. Paul's Cathedral. But the work of poets like Algernon Charles Swinburne, who hurled insults at the dreariness of the creed, exposed a problem. The very men accusing Christianity of darkening the world already believed life itself was pitch dark. They were pessimists complaining about pessimism. When the testimonies of the accusers fatally contradict one another, the entire case falls apart before your eyes. It forces you to ask whether Christianity is really the crooked thing in the room, or if the whole age is standing sideways and calling the dizziness enlightenment. Think about how an object casts a shadow. If you shine a light on a three-dimensional cylinder from one angle, it casts a shadow of a circle. Shine a light from another angle, and it casts a square. The same object generates two totally different shapes depending on where you stand. The accusation that Christianity is a thing of inhuman gloom is like looking only at that first flat shadow. And the claim that it is a cowardly, overly optimistic comfort is like looking only at the second flat shadow. If a man is too fat in one place and too thin in another, you don't assume he's two different people. You deduce that he has a very odd shape. An object displaying two opposite traits isn't broken. It possesses a complex, intersecting geometry. Christianity is not a flat line. It is a multi-dimensional framework, an odd shape that defies basic categorization. The critics meant to make the faith look irrational. Instead, the friction suggests they are trying to force a higher dimensional reality into a flat, two-dimensional box, and the box kept breaking. Many believers look at these broken boxes and draw the wrong conclusion. They see the cultural friction and decide the best response is to shrink the faith down into a safe, easily digestible lifestyle aesthetic. When the culture complains the faith is too dark, we start apologizing for its edges. We quietly stop talking about sin, judgment, repentance, and the cross, hoping to appease modern sensitivities. And when the culture pivots and complains the faith is too bright, we retreat again. We apologize for the staggering claims of providence, the physical resurrection, and absolute, unyielding joy. We end up continuously trimming the edges to fit the mood of the era. But a trimmed-down religion is entirely useless against the staggering, uncontainable truth of a fully realized theological worldview. Christianity is not designed to accommodate the mood of a broken age. It is designed to heal the sight of that age. Modifying it to fit the culture destroys the very medicine the culture needs. There's a psychological shock when you stop protecting a fragile antique and realize you're standing inside a terrifyingly vast cosmic structure. The safe boundaries shatter. A flat age will always find a fully dimensional worldview deeply confusing. It will look at a structure built for eternity and call it disorienting. To a deeply crooked era, an upright standard will always give the illusion of being tilted. The true vastness of the faith is uniquely engineered to hold the absolute extremes of the human condition. It's large enough for Good Friday and Easter morning, large enough for profound, heavy sorrow and untamed, explosive laughter. The faith does not become more believable when we make it smaller and more relatable. It becomes believable when we finally stop apologizing and reveal its terrifyingly large, all-encompassing scale. Do not let the world force you to choose between its narrow categories. Do not choose between holiness and hope, or between repentance and resurrection. Embrace the full, massive paradox. The critics were wrong. Christianity is not a black mask hiding a white world. It is not a white mask hiding a black world. It's the scales falling away from blind eyes. And once you see clearly, you realize the problem was never that Christianity was oddly shaped. The problem was that we had forgotten the terrifying, beautiful shape of reality itself, a reality ruled entirely by the absolute sovereignty of a king.